Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's important for millions of men, Tadalafil. You may have heard of it, you might be curious about it, or you may even be using it. But there's a lot of confusing information and myths out there. Our goal today is to clear all that up. We're going to cover exactly what Tadalafil is, how it really works, the different ways to use it, and we'll tackle the biggest myths and fears head-on. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, complete understanding of Tadalafil. First, let's set the stage. Why is this medication so important? Because erectile dysfunction, or ED, is incredibly common. Studies show that around 50% of men over the age of 50 experience some degree of ED. That number rises with age, but it also affects a significant number of younger men. Some estimates say up to 30% of the general male population will deal with it at some point. It's not a personal failing, it's a medical condition, often linked to things like high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, or even just the natural aging process. And because it's so common, having safe and effective treatments is a game changer for men's health and quality of life. This is where Tadalafil comes in. So, how does it actually work? This is probably the most misunderstood part. Many people think these pills are like an on switch for an erection. That's not true. Tadalafil doesn't create an erection out of thin air. You still need to be sexually aroused for it to work. Here's a simple way to think about it. In your body, there are natural processes that start an erection and processes that end it. Tadalafil works by temporarily blocking the main enzyme that tells the body to end an erection. In technical terms, it's a PDE5 inhibitor. Imagine you have a light switch. Tadalafil doesn't flip the switch to on. Instead, when you flip the switch on through arousal, Tadalafil basically holds it in the on position, making it much easier to achieve and maintain a firm erection. It facilitates the natural process. It doesn't create an artificial one. This is a key point. Without sexual desire and stimulation, nothing will happen. Now, one of the unique things about Tadalafil is that there are two main ways to use it, and they fit very different lifestyles. First is the on-demand method. This is what Tadalafil is famous for. You take a higher dose, typically 10 or 20 milligrams, a couple of hours before you plan to be sexually active. The incredible benefit here is its long duration. Its effects can last for up to 36 hours, which is why it earned the nickname the weekend pill. You can take it on a Friday evening and be covered for the entire weekend. This provides a lot of flexibility. The main downside is that it still requires some planning. The second method, which has become increasingly popular, is daily use. With this approach, you take a much lower dose, almost always 5 milligrams, at the same time every single day, just like a vitamin. By doing this, you maintain a steady, consistent level of the medication in your system. The result? You're ready for intimacy whenever the moment feels right. There's no need to plan or time a pill. This completely removes the pressure of having to perform within a specific window, restoring a sense of spontaneity and normalcy to your sex life. For many men, this is a huge psychological benefit. It's not just about treating the physical symptom, it's about restoring confidence. Additionally, the 5 milligrams daily dose is also officially approved to treat the symptoms of an enlarged prostate, or BPH, which is another common condition in aging men. So, for some, it can solve two problems with one pill. Now, let's bust the three biggest myths that cause the most worry and confusion. Myth number 1. Tadalafil is addictive. Let's be very clear. Tadalafil is not physically addictive. It doesn't create cravings or withdrawal symptoms like addictive substances do. However, there is a concept called psychological dependence. This can happen when someone who doesn't have a medical need for the drug starts using it recreationally to achieve superhuman performance. Over time, they may start to feel that they can't perform without it, even if their body is perfectly capable. This becomes a mental hurdle. But for men using it to treat a real medical condition, it's a treatment, not a crutch. You aren't getting addicted, you are treating a condition. Myth number 2, my body will get used to it, and it will stop working. This is a common fear. A man might use Tadalafil for years, and then feel like it's not as effective as it used to be. It's natural to assume he's built up a tolerance. But that's not what's happening. The medication's mechanism of action doesn't change. What does change over time is the underlying medical condition that's causing the erectile dysfunction in the first place. If your ED is caused by issues with blood flow due to aging or conditions like diabetes, those conditions can progress over the years. So, it's not that the drug is weaker, it's that the underlying problem has become more severe, and you may need to adjust your treatment plan. The problem isn't the pill, it's the progression of the health issue itself. And now for the biggest one. Myth number 3. Tadalafil is dangerous for my heart. This is a very serious concern, and it stems from stories back in the late 90s when these drugs first came out. The truth is, for most men, Tadalafil is very safe for the heart. In fact, because it's a vasodilator, meaning it widens blood vessels, it actually slightly lowers blood pressure. The real danger, and this is the most critical takeaway, comes from a specific drug interaction. Tadalafil must never be taken with medications called nitrates. Nitrates are often prescribed for chest pain or angina. When you combine two powerful vasodilators like Tadalafil and a nitrate, it can cause a sudden, severe, and potentially fatal drop in blood pressure. This is the one absolute, non-negotiable rule. As for the patient who took the pill and his blood pressure went up, that was likely caused by the anxiety and panic he felt from the headache and his fear of the medication, which triggers a stress response and temporarily raises blood pressure. It wasn't a direct effect of the drug itself. Speaking of headaches, let's talk about the common side effects. Because Tadalafil works by widening blood vessels, it can do so in other parts of the body, not just the penis. The most common side effects are directly related to this. Widening blood vessels in your head can cause a headache. In your face, it can cause flushing. In your nose, it can lead to a stuffy feeling. And some men experience back pain or muscle aches. The good news is that for most men, these side effects are mild and temporary. And when taking a low 5 milligrams daily dose, they are even less common and often disappear completely after the first week or two as the body adjusts. Now, while Tadalafil is a well-studied medical solution that helps millions of men, I understand that some of you might be looking for a completely natural approach, something without pills or potential side effects. If that sounds like you, I recently came across some fascinating information about a simple 7-second home remedy that's designed to address the real root cause of male performance issues naturally. It's a completely different method, and many men are finding it incredibly effective for restoring that rock-solid hardness and stamina from their youth. If you're curious to see what it is, I've made it easy for you. Just open your phone's camera right now and point it at the QR code on the screen. It will take you straight to a short, eye-opening video that explains everything. For those watching on a device where you can't use the QR code, don't worry, I've also put a direct link to that same video in the pinned comment below. Now, for those of you continuing on the Tadalafil path, let's talk about getting the best results. So, how can you get the best possible results? First, timing is important for the on-demand dose. While it can start working in as little as 30 minutes, giving it a full 2 hours allows it to reach its peak concentration in your blood, giving you the maximum effect. Second, an important advantage Tadalafil has over some other ED medications is that its effectiveness isn't significantly impacted by food. You can take it with a meal without worrying that it won't work. Moderate alcohol consumption is also generally considered safe and doesn't interfere with the medication's action. Finally, if you're not getting the results you want, don't just give up after one try. There could be many reasons. Maybe the dose isn't right for you. Maybe your testosterone levels are low, which can impact desire. Or perhaps there are performance anxiety issues that need to be addressed. This is why an ongoing conversation with a healthcare provider is so important to fine-tune your approach. To sum it all up, Tadalafil is a remarkably effective and safe medication for treating erectile dysfunction when used correctly. It's not an addictive drug. Your body doesn't build a tolerance to it, and it's safe for the heart as long as you are not taking nitrates. Whether you choose the on-demand dose for its long-lasting window or the daily dose for its constant readiness and spontaneity, it can be a powerful tool for restoring not just sexual function, but also confidence and quality of life. I hope this has provided you with the clear, fact-based information you were looking for. If this video was helpful, Please give it a like and subscribe for more content that helps you take control of your health. Thanks for watching.